I spent 20 years at a large contractor. And with a large contractor, some of the things you take for granted are the things that you get really frustrated about, because at a large general contractor, they have all of their processes and procedures and their red tape to protect things, right? You go to the small general contractor and you're like, yay, okay, all this stuff doesn't exist. So we have a little more wiggle room. But then there are days that you're like, why is there no process for this? Why is there not a procedure? And so you spend time then starting to create those, and you realize why companies get to the level they do, making those processes and procedures. But I think something that was also really cool about a small company is that you have an opportunity to help shape a company that's small. No matter what position you're in, when you're with a really large company that's doing really well, you can do really well. You can do well for them, but you can't do a whole lot to shape them. And you have that opportunity with a smaller company, and that's pretty cool. I think the other thing is just opportunity. When you're in a large company, the opportunity is different. You get an opportunity to build more types of projects and larger projects. But when you're with a smaller company, the opportunities really come toward advancement faster because they're not as top heavy. And you just have, as they keep growing, you get to keep growing up the ladder with them. So it's there are a lot of differences, and it was fun to be on both sides of that.
Do you have a preference?
I think I would probably prefer the small. I like being able to help share. I love strategy, and being able to help a smaller company, that's probably my preference.
So I tend to be exactly the same way. I like being in the company where you can really move the needle and, not be kind of held back by rules. I'm curious to hear maybe just a little more on the process side. Are there, I can picture some of these things, but do you have any examples of, where not having the process has actually, really helped on the small side, or maybe on the other side where it really hurt not having the process?
Yeah, I think take submittal review, for example. With a large company, when subcontractors send in their submittals, there's a process, or they have a document system that everything goes through and everybody has to do this. But at a smaller company, sometimes that process of what are you actually supposed to do with this document? Like, you're responsible as a general contractor to look it over and make sure it matches the specifications and the drawings, and whose job is that, and is there somebody that second checks it, and that just I noticed that kind of goes out the window a little when there's not a process. The next thing you know, you're like, where did this come from? Like, this doesn't match well, I know I got it, but I just sent it on. There's that, some of those checks and balances that are missing.